we are in talks with Sri Prasad Kariyawasam. Tamil and Tamilian issues is really very sentimental issue as far as India is concerned. How to solve this problem?
As far as Sri Lankan Tamils are concerned, and also the Tamils who now settled in Sri Lanka, who came in the last century from India, they are all our citizens.
Right.
They are our people, and Sri Lankans are very much concerned about their welfare. We suffered from terrorism for 30 years.
Yeah.
One group, LTT,
Right.
was engaged in terrorism and insurgency just to carve out a separate country for Tamilians.
Right.
Now, that sort of ethnic separatism is not only not good for Sri Lanka, it's not good for the region.
Yeah.
I think our region is a multi-ethnic, multicultural region. We cannot create countries on the basis of ethnicity. So we had to come hard on this group of people to prevent them from engaging in violence for a political objective of creating a country for Tamils.
Right.
And we think Sri Lanka's future does not depend on separation.
Yeah.
So we are there to integrate.
Yes.
So our objective is to integrate all the communities into one Sri Lankan nation.
Right.
That is our project.
Right.
Now, that project, we are fully mindful what Tamil people need is dignity and justice, which we are providing.
Right.
Tamil already is an official language in Sri Lanka, equal to Sinhalese. Equal to Sinhalese.
Right.
And we are going to create, and our president has now, after the war was over, president has come up with another initiative called Trilingual Initiative to make every Sri Lankan speak all three languages, Sinhalese, Tamil and English, to be spoken by every Sri Lankan.
Right,
So another 10 years down the line, our expectation is these three languages become not only officially official language, but practically everybody's language.
Yeah.
Now, getting there is not easy because sometimes Tamil nationalism is not only in Sri Lanka, it's there sometimes in Tamil Nadu in some forms and globally.
Right.
We suffer from the global Tamil diaspora campaigners who are still wedded to the concept of Tamil Elam.
Right.
Rather than trying to make room for Sri Lankan government and the Tamil people in Sri Lanka and the Sinhalese people in Sri Lanka to come to terms with the current reality.
Right.
And take a paradigm shift in their in their ideological thinking that separatism is the answer. They need to take a paradigm shift and go towards a system where Tamils, Sinhalese and Muslims in our country share equal rights, feel equal.
Yeah.
That is our project.
Right.
And we want our friends in Tamil Nadu, especially the leading politicians, to understand our effort and to support us. Sometimes some are not very helpful. What they do, not very helpful. But we hope that they will, and best way for them to understand us is to visit Sri Lanka. We invite all Tamil Nadu leaders to visit Sri Lanka. We would like to welcome them and to see for themselves what we are doing at home with regard to how much we have done to develop northern province, which suffered from terrorism, eastern province. Indian government has helped Sri Lanka a lot in that to bring back normalcy and economic development. While the Sri Lankan economy grew only at about 8%, 8 to 7% last year.
No, right now you're 6.5%.
6.5%. Northern province grew by 27%.
Okay.
So that is the level of development that has reached them. So a lot of things are happening in Tamil dominated areas. And normal people want to integrate, want to get on with their life. So sometimes some international campaigns against Sri Lanka on various issues, ostensibly for human rights violations, is not very helpful.
Right.
We think that we must be left to our means of creating homegrown solutions for our development and for accommodation of each other and for political solutions for all the issues that we have.
Your case is completely different. I'll give you an example. Your president is really very strong in central Sri Lanka and southern Sri Lanka. In northern Sri Lanka, case is not the same, number one. Number two, after this 13th amendment, because then you are going to provide some kind of autonomy to provinces. So I think you need to be very careful on that.
We not only want to give autonomy for we want to not only share power in the provinces, but we want to share power in the center.
Yeah.
We want to do both.
Right.
There should be a balance, because as I told you, we cannot create situations where we are not ethnically separate entities are not there in Sri Lanka. In fact, we would like to devolve power to the district level, so that is more effective, like Panchayat, for instance.
Right.
That level of devolution is what is required in Sri Lanka.
Right.
So we have to discuss these things between us,
Right.
between our people. And Parliamentary Select Committee is the best vehicle that we have created,
True.
so that we have a very thorough examination of what is really required by the people of Sri Lanka.
Right.
Sri Lanka is only 20 million people, and our growth rate is population growth rate is only 0.7. We are not. So it's like we are like an NCR area in a way, number of people.
You can say
so
that.
we have to have our own model.
Right.
13th Amendment was a solution that we thought would work 25 years ago, during a time of a conflict.
Okay.
Now no conflict. So 13th Amendment is still there, but we have to improve on that.
Right.
That improvement can be certain adjustments.
Right.
So we have to discuss these things. We have to find the best constitutional model that will work in Sri Lanka. That will give power, sufficient powers to the provinces, and sufficient power sharing at the center.
Right.
That is our objective.
Right.
Very important thing is everybody must come and talk to each other.
Yeah.
And we invite Tamil National Alliance to talk to government and continue talking to government, which they are doing,
Right.
and to reach a solution. We fully agree. India's model of devolution, model of state
Governance, yeah.
is very different. You said that. I agree with that. Tamil Nadu is not an issue for India, because that is you have a very different system.
Right.
Ours is very different. And same spirit, I hope the Tamil Nadu politicians don't think that that's the model for us,
Right.
because it's a very different country in that sense.
Yeah,
We are
yeah.
a big country.
You know, you are in India from last several years,
Yes.
and you're watching Indian political system, Indian polity pretty closely. India can be a good example to govern Sri Lanka. You have the GDP of 6.5%. It should touch double digit. It should be 10%. Your comment on this?
Well, India, we have always been inspired by Indian culture, for not only from now, very in the ancient history as well. Take Emperor Ashoka, the greatest king of India,
Right.
in our reckoning.
Right.
He sent his son and daughter to Sri Lanka with the message of Buddhism. So we were inspired by that.
Right. Right.
Then comes the freedom struggle. Your freedom struggle and our freedom struggle were concurrent, and we were inspired by that. You got independence 47, we are in the 48. We are independent.
Right.
So we are we have been following. And then what do we adopt? We adopt democracy, similar values. Sri Lanka and India are the only two countries who have had in the South Asia continuous democratic practice since independence.
Right.
We have had continuous democratic practice.
Okay.
Despite we are being bothered by terrorism,
yeah.
we have continued democratic practice. So we have everything in common. We are inspired. However, the sizes are not similar.
True.
So we have to create our own model in any case. We had the Westminster model, but then we went to a different model of governance because we found that Sri Lanka, that's the best system. Our electoral parliamentarians are elected by proportionate system, not by first past the post Westminster system. So there are certain differences in Sri Lanka.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's the nature of the country. So the same thing will apply. But there are things that we need to learn and we need to follow. There are things that we have to evolve on our own.
Yeah, true.
And we have a very, so that is how I would answer that.
Okay.
Certain things, yes, certain things we have to do our own thing.
Right, thanks. It was really nice talking to you.
Thank you. It's my pleasure, and I enjoyed taking part in this conversation.
In our next episode, we'll again come back with a special person. Keep watching Loksabha Television.